I didn't mean to bail on that at all. It was not
Okay.
my intention. And then Wick invited me to another one on Friday, but I still had practice, so I couldn't go to that one either.
Feels
So,
bad.
yeah, and I really wanted to go. I really wanted to go on that panel too. I really did. I'm not like
Hmm.
a super like debate bro panely type, but like if there's a topic that I feel like I could really just rip, um, I'll 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 go on. Um,
Okay,
so
cool. I'm actually hold on. I'm just gonna switch my screen over
no,
one
that's
more
fine.
time so I can go full screen. If
No,
I'm
that's fine.
gonna put this on YouTube, I should be
No, that's fine.
more ashamed of playing League of Legends. So I'm gonna crop
No,
that
I
out.
play Smite. Why should people be afraid of playing League of Legends? I've played like I've played like Wild Rift on my phone. I mean, the game is fun.
I like Wild Rift. I'm actually gold in that one.
Oh, cool,
um,
cool.
okay. So, do you want to tell me about your conversation with Sansol, and then Stardust? Because I didn't get to watch them yet.
I haven't uploaded the video of my conversation with Stardust yet, but if you want to know about my conversation with Sansol, I mean, that's on my YouTube channel. You can, Nayulai Monte, you can feel free to react to that on stream, give your honest opinion. Like, I don't give a fuck. My IP, my shit is just out there for anybody to
Mhm.
use for whatever reason. It's about the message just being spread, not necessarily like, monetary gain or value. I just want people to, just learn, and that's basically it. So,
Okay.
my conversation with Sanso versus my conversation with Stardust on this topic was two completely like polar opposite conversations. Like Stardust came from a point of what it seemed like wanting to understand where I was coming from. Meanwhile, Sansol just called me an ethnonet on Twitter, which pissed me off, which is why I went ahead and had the conversation with him anyway. And then he kept trying to essentially slander me and make me look worse than I am and shit. And Stardust just didn't do any of that. Like, she expressed her disagreements with me, and that was fine because, like,
Hmm.
you know, here, I wanna. Do you mind if I share my screen?
Um, yeah, go ahead.
It's not gonna be anything nasty. I mean, unless you think my partner is nasty. uh, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be anything nasty. So this is my fiance. This is my partner. This is my Twitter. Um, we were at the fireworks.
Wait, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. It says I am on Discord in our chat, in our
Okay.
little, yeah, there it is. Yeah, you see it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's my partner. That's my fiance. She is a white woman. That does not bother me like at all. Now,
Hmm.
if I'm going to be completely honest, it did bother my parents when we first got together. It bothered them a little bit because I did come from two black parents. And, you know, um, the idea of being anti-race mixing is actually, from what I've experienced, relatively common within, like, not relatively common, but relatively it's not uncommon within the black community. Basically, like, it's not a rare thing to find within the black community. But I think my whole stance is understanding where that comes from, and understanding how the ways in which that may differ, the ways in which it may line up with, white supremacist talk, values, and rhetoric, and then the ways in which it will differ from white supremacist values, rhetoric, etc. Um, and when my conversation with Stardust last night, she understood that. Meanwhile, Sansol did not. And then Sansol made his tweet where he was like, "I don't give a fuck how much oppression you've experienced or whatever. You can't be, anti-race mixing or whatever, right?" So
Hmm.
I think when we try to at least understand where this stuff comes from, um, then we can, if anything, I feel like, dare I say, white people could learn something, and then we could all work together to fix these and mend these, these wounds and these tears that we might have with one another, when we seek to understand where that comes from. And then when you actually do dive into, the black community and black history and everything, you realize that, like, holy shit, this shit comes from hurt. It comes from fear largely. It comes from, wanting to be wanting it comes from a want for safety, you know, much more than it comes from this. And there are some people like, you know, you got your Dr. Umar types out there that are like, the black man is superior genetically and can impregnate all these women. I saw that clip. um like, you got your Dr. Umars out there, but then I feel like a lot of black people are not like Dr. Umar. And you have a lot of black people who um just want to keep to, you know, dating and marrying black people because they feel safer when they do it. Um so like I didn't agree with I saw the conversation between Endless and Shark. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had problems with things that both of those guys said. Um, for me, the conversation started with the rhetoric that Shark was using in his tweet that was kind of problematic because
Okay.
he
Wait,
brought up stereotypes. Oh,
can
sorry, what?
we um can we bring up what that rhetoric is?
Okay. So in my
Like
opinion,
specifically, not like summarizing.
right. So in my opinion, it was white supremacist in nature, even if Shark did not intend it to be that way. Because he was
No, no, no. What?
reinforcing.
No. So I'm not
Am I
asking to summarize it. I want to know specifically what did he say?
Oh,
Not
what did he
like
say? So
yeah,
he
the
said,
words that you think. Yeah.
if I can remember correctly, and maybe I'll have to go back on since I have Twitter up anyway, I might have to go back in Twitter and dig up the tweet. But he said that these people come first off. The first tweet was, you know, I can't imagine what it seemed like a joke at first. Like, damn, two generations and the melanin gone from that family. Or maybe she said bloodline. I don't remember. And then another person said, had quote tweeted them and said, um, I can't imagine my bloodline getting like this. Damn. And like that's kind of where I have a problem. Is like the bloodline talk. Like I do have a little bit of a problem with that. Like even if you do mean it in like a meme sort of way, like you can't really
Okay. What
always
did
tell
you
on
think
Twitter.
Shark?
And then Shark came in
I feel
and
like.
said, oh what?
Can we? Do you have like the link to the tweet?
Let me find it. Let me find it. I do know that
Yeah.
Shark came in and he started
Hmm.
saying, these people come from broken homes. Um, they're picking at this dude because he, um, what was it? Because he has like a happy family, and like these people didn't have happy families, and now they want to pick at somebody simply because they have a happy family. And I'm like, I don't think that's what they were doing. Um, so hold on, I'm scrolling through Twitter now. Let me see if I can.
Because my vague memory is the people mocking that family were calling it like fatherless behavior or something. Um,
On which side? Mocking the interracial family or mocking the
yes.
okay, mocking the
So
interracial family.
mocking
Okay,
the interracial family and the like they said something about the removal of like melanin and
right,
that they
right,
would never want that to happen and it's like the result of fatherless behavior for doing that.
right, and that
And
shit is
I
crazy.
recall and yeah, and I recall Shark like just challenging all of that.
Okay, well, if he was
Because
challenge,
if they call those people fatherless behavior and then he addresses like people that don't have fathers in like our community, I feel like that's appropriate. I feel like
okay,
that's a direct response.
so I did not understand when I did not know that that's where Shark was coming from. That he was coming. I thought he was just talking about. I didn't know he was talking about like the people in the comment section because I typically on Twitter, like typically on Twitter, I don't I don't go into
But
comment
I think it
sections,
was in
and
the
it's a
picture. No,
good.
it was in the pictures that he quote tweeted.
Hold on, hold on. I think I'm almost getting there. I think I'm almost getting
Okay.
there. Scrolling down, scrolling down. I'm scrolling through the stuff between him and Endless, so I'm almost there. I'm almost there. There it is. Okay. Oh wait, no. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, so he said these black people grow up in broken homes to parents who never wanted them, then unfortunately make it
No,
to an eight.
not him. What did he quote tweet?
Yeah, that's what he's quote. That's what he quoted. He quote tweeted someone saying, "I never want my bloodline to end up like this. That's insane." Like, and yeah, like I
No,
do
no, no.
have a slight
Can you
problem with
link it to
that,
me?
huh?
Can you link it to me?
Oh yeah, here I'll just show you. I'll
Yeah.
just show you. I'll just show you my screen again. I'll show you my screen again. There we go. Yeah. So here's his tweet. He said, "These black people grow up in broken homes." He's talking about like in response to this guy and I guess this person here who said 2 generations and the melanin gone from that bloodline. I took this original one,
Okay.
as a joke.
I'm
Like I
I'm
took
just
that one
gonna
as a
I'm gonna
joke.
look this up because I want to be able to look at the entire tweet, and I just remember there was something about fatherless behavior.
Um,
Because I know
I
that you're implying that Shark is saying something like wrong, and I'm like remembering specifically, um,
Then he said,
like
"Oh," but then he says, "There's another tweet where he says in response in like the comments where he's of his own tweet where he says." There's no difference between these people and the weirdos who dream of grinding their way being a CEO of a Fortune 500. You won't make it. I'd say I feel bad for their parents, but they probably were just as bad as them. Um, I mean, if that's what you're referencing, I don't remember him talking about.
no, it's from the thing that he quote
Oh yeah,
tweeted.
and then
It's
he
not
said this
from
is
him.
he said this is fatherless behavior and jealousy. That's what he says in his in his quote tweet. He says this is father. He says the stuff about like how they come from broken homes, and then he says this is fatherless behavior and jealousy. And like I just feel like that in a way there was a different way in which he could have gone about saying that didn't have where you didn't have to use the rhetoric the same rhetoric that white supremacists will often use in response to our community. I just don't think that was necessary for him to use, in my honest to God
Um,
opinion. I yeah, I just didn't think it was
okay.
necessary, and I questioned why
So
he
we
used that.
okay, hold on. Slow down. What is the white supremacist language? The idea that he would
The
um
idea that like all of the black people that like may be opposed to interrace mixing come from broken homes, and I had the same conversation with Sansol.
mhm.
I did not come from a broken home, and my parents at one point were sorta anti-race mixing. I didn't come from a broken home. I came from a loving mother and father, two brothers. Like I came from a fairly, it wasn't the greatest life, but it was a decent one. Um, and he said they make it to the old age where they can tweet just to hate on people being in the happy family they never experienced. And it's like where are you getting that from? It seems like you don't even know anything about like the people that tweeted. You don't even know anything about like their personal life, but you just like guessed that they came from broken homes and were never happy with their family, which is another thing that a lot of
Yeah.
people say about black people. A lot of white supremacists will say about black people is that we don't come from good families and that we're not loved and that we don't have the whole this is fatherless behavior and jealousy. Like that's a big one too. This idea that we come from houses where we don't have dads and shit. Like I just don't know why he framed it. It just kind of like I agree with being because I like the tweet, but like at the same time, like once Endless brought it up and like I actually went back and reread it, I was like, wait, that actually makes a lot of sense. Like when he said he didn't even like explain it to me. He just kind of like with his quote tweet with like I had to make sure this wasn't a Tommy Lauren tweet at first, and then I went back and reread it, and I was like, oh wait, yeah, because I
Okay.
used to be
Now,
growing up like I used to be
but
slightly
hold on. Because
anti-black growing up.
I feel like you guys are doing like a huge stretch and like a huge disservice to Shark when you like you could point this out and be like, hey, that's fucked up. Like like why are you assuming that it's a broken family? Why are you assuming that like
Right,
this
right.
is
And
fatherless
listen,
behavior?
I'm
That's like
not
hold on, let me finish.
okay, okay, okay.
Why are you taking this dig on us? Like this is one thing to say like, hey, this is a poor way to like respond or poor taste or something like that. Um but you make the leap to comparing him to white supremacists when actually it's the people who are anti-race mixing that are like almost aligned with white supremacists.
I mean,
It
and
just
we can.
it feels wrong because if I'm making fun of somebody, right? And they are black and I'm calling them fucking stupid or low IQ, are you going to reference me as like aligning with white supremacists? Because they will make fucking IQ related
I mean,
insults
so
towards
like,
black people?
so okay. So let me go back a little bit, right? So first off, I'm not calling Shark a white supremacist. I'm just saying that
You
the
are
words
loading what
he
he's
was.
saying though.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that like so there's a difference between like labeling somebody and then just giving a critique and saying like, yo, you know, this is
But
so
this
like saying this is
critique
Nazi
doesn't
shit or this
fit.
is I feel like it does
This
though.
you
I feel like it does
how I don't
because
think it fits unless you view interracial relationships and people supporting them as like also upholding like white supremacy.
But like he's not again like okay. So and we all do you like you
Is
said
it
earlier, right?
just
Like
answer me this? Is it possible to make fun of black people in a distasteful way, but not be compared to a white supremacist?
oh yeah, yeah, there's a way in which you can do that. But like
Okay.
I don't
And
think
in
Shark
what
did that
way did
here.
Shark do that that
Be-
lines up with white supremacists?
Using language such as for one thing like completely jumping the gun saying that these people never had a happy family and just kind of like not it also seemed like kind of I dare I say
That
disingenuous as
just
well.
sounds like
um but like
it
saying that
sounds like he made a dig at black people. Not
okay,
that the dig is that black people are less than, right? He's making a dig at a black person who is being disrespectful and disapproving of
right,
interracial mix
so
like
y-
race
y-
mixing.
right, right,
Do you
right, like
understand
but
how
like
that in no way aligns him with white supremacists?
so
Not even slightly.
the thing is when we talk about white supremacy is that it's not always like oh you're just inferior, just inferior, just inferior. There's ways in which white supremacy primes and like kind of dare I say even grooms the it grooms like the populace in a way into believing certain narratives about black people, such as like the shit that Reagan was saying about well black people being welfare queens. That wasn't necessarily something saying that like black people were inferior, and he said other like worse shit, but that was still white supremacist in nature by trying to paint every black person or every black woman as like this
So
harlot
Reagan pushed white
slut like
supremacy. So saying that Reagan is a president that pushed white supremacy according to you.
oh yeah, yeah. Reagan 100%. Reagan, in my opinion, like for me, Reagan is in hell. Like he is in hell. He is burning. If you believe that hell exists. Uh, but yeah, and he did it in multiple ways. But one of the things that he did that he's known for, one of the things he said that he's known for was saying that like that black women are like these welfare queens that just live off the government and don't want to be in happy marriages or some shit like that or whatever the fuck he said. I just woke up, okay. So like that shit was white supremacist in nature, and it was the reason why it was because it was I want to say, I guess I could say, grooming the population into viewing black people in this negative light. And then once you get people to view people in a negative light already, you can very easily just push them over the edge and get them to believe just about anything you want negatively about that group of people or about that person. So like then you can go ahead and get people to think like, oh yeah, look at this welfare queen. Look at how inferior she is to look at how black people are inferior to us genetically and all this shit. Like you could easily, once you've groomed people into believing it, you could very easily get them to, believe even more radical and shitty crap just as easily.
I
Um,
okay. Do you think there's in that debate with Endless and Shark, do you think that there were things that Endless said that um you would say he is upholding white supremacy or he's aligning with white supremacy?
um, do you think it was? Because
I'm asking you.
I
You seem
didn't.
to be very vocal in your critiques of Shark and your disapproval of his message. It seems to be right on
So
the tip of your tongue. Is there anything with Endless?
so my thing with what Endless was saying was like I feel like there were a couple times maybe where Endless might have contradicted himself. Um and I don't even
No,
remember.
not contradicted. His actual beliefs that he said. Did you have anything
So
you've no issues with them?
so I mean, I don't really remember because I watched it. I'm not gonna lie, I watched it so long ago. I don't remember really what either of them were saying in that
Okay,
conversation. I'm specifically
without
talking about the
bringing
rhetoric
but
because I'm not
without
here to
bringing
defend.
up the
I'm not here to defend
tweet,
Endless or Shark. I'm not
but
like I've said.
without but I'm just I'm asking questions. But without bringing up the tweet, you had Shark's words like at the tip of your tongue. You had your critiques for Shark
Yeah,
like
because I'm
ready.
looking at the tweet because
So
I'm just
so
reading
would you
the
say that
tweet.
generally then if you can't remember anything you actually disagree or would consider white supremacist related with what Endless said that you just don't have a problem with his views?
um
Whereas Shark, you had a very big problem that's still on like the tip of your brain.
Well, okay, so I don't necessarily have a problem with Shark's viewpoint. I just have a problem with the way in which, I mean, it might seem kind of petty. I just had a problem with the way in which he worded his tweet. I think he could have done better.
That
Like
it's he
I
could have
don't
done better. Okay.
I
And
don't
what
I don't dislike
okay, and
Shark.
what
I still
about
follow him. I still watch his shit. Like it says
okay,
following right
okay.
here. Like I'm cool with him.
And
Um
what about when Endless responding to Ellen in telling him that he is a C word and that while
uh
he's
the
biracial that
raccoon?
he choose no yeah, raccoon but without the
Okay, I
with
just
the
make
R.
just making sure cuz C word could also mean
Do you cuz
cunt,
how do
but
you feel
okay.
about that rhetoric?
How do I feel
The
about that
black
rhetoric?
person calling another
Um
black person a slur because they don't align with their views.
Are you talking about this in general or just in that particular instance? Because I
I-
really have
In
not
that
been
in
paying
that specific
attention.
instance, you
I really have not been paying attention to.
so
Uh,
you just paid attention to Shark
I mean,
in that tweet.
I mean,
That's as far as like these issues matter to you. It's like when Shark
no.
messes
Wait,
up.
no. Okay, so like, I'm not like I said. I just thought
I
Shark could
just
have
can't tell if
worded
you're
it.
like in the community on Twitch or if you're just inserting yourself to go against Shark.
No. That's not it. That's not it at all. I am not inserting myself just to go against Shark. Like I would no. I like I said, I still like Shark's content. I still follow him. It's just like, I can give critiques to people. I would have to
Yeah,
see
you
the
seem
conversation
very
between Endless and Ellen. I
but do you see how
haven't really
you
been
are
paying
very
attention to
willing
that.
do you see how you're very willing to like jump to heavy critiques of Shark? Like you're even like bringing in the weight of the words white supremacy to just um to essentially an insult that is to support a biracial couple. But I'm asking you and telling you, Endless called this black person the C word, and you don't want to have any opinion on it.
I mean, I'd have
Do
to
you see
see.
how
I
you
don't.
have just like very different energy?
Well, no, no,
It
no.
seems like you've only got
No. I have
critical energy when it comes
context.
to Shark.
I have context with what Shark is saying because I have the tweet right in front of me. I mean, if you have the
Okay, I can
tweets,
get you the tweet right now.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine, that's fine. If you want to get me the tweets and show them to me,
And
like, yeah,
apparently
sure.
Endless does this to other people too. I think Rhizome was another person that he did too.
I
With
don't
me, I
agree.
can tell you specifically,
I don't agree
he has
with.
quote tweeted me 3 times. I think it's 3 times now to say that I am the DGG pick me and that he hopes that my white father abuses me the way that he abused my mother.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
that's a bit harsh. That's
oh, just a
bad.
bit harsh.
That's
Okay.
I would even say. I mean, I'm kind of honestly taken aback by from hearing that. Call me Stunlot because that's it's crazy. Um, with what he
Yeah,
said about
I thought
Rhizome,
so too.
if that's what he said about Rhizome, I disagree with that because I've watched Rhizome's content. I actually kind of like Rhizome, so and like I don't know, I don't have all the listen. I don't have all the Twitch lore down.
Can
I
you look
tried
at my
not.
chat? I pasted the tweet
You pasted the tweet. Where'd you put it
in my Twitch chat.
in your Twitch chat? Shit. Okay. Give me a hot second because I'm not in your I'm not
Mhm.
in your Twitch chat right now. Give me a hot second. Do. CH. How do you spell your name on? Oh wait, no, there you are, right there. You're just right on the side. Name on. Oh
Cuphead, I must say,
shit.
this boss battle, it doesn't
Because I'm not
inspire fear.
subbed.
I mean, look at it, it's cute.
Hold on.
Oh my, it's not cute. That's not cute at all. I much prefer
You
my
wanna look at
bosses.
my stream
We
on
get to
stream,
tell
you
people
can
how easy it is to switch and save with Geico.
I'm just gonna mute that until the ad's over. It's gonna, just gonna mute that. Okay. Can you go ahead? I can't see it in your chat. Do you mind posting it again?
I'm leaving it up on my screen, but I'll link it again too.
Oh, okay, there it is. I see it now. Okay. Uh, let this see. I don't know how Twitch feels about that word
And here,
as Clout
I'll read it out
Chaser.
loud too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let this C-ass clout chaser stay in his light-skinned feelings. He doesn't even identify as black. He's brown until it's time to tell black people what to do. At which point Ellen responds, I'm both brown and black because I am simultaneously Latino and black. So not only does he call him the C word, he uses his biracialness to dismiss his ability to even have a voice in the community. And also his his light skin with the whole feelings thing. We both know that that is
Colorist.
colorism within
Yeah.
the Black
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe Shark said a like the fatherless thing, and that could be off-putting, and that's maybe like a bit inappropriate. But in the context, he's not going against Black people. He's in support and like being an advocate um for a biracial family,
Right. And
whereas
then we talk about and
here is endless using rhetoric used against Black people um to another Black person to tell them that their voice isn't needed in the community. So what is your opinion about that?
I mean, clearly, like, there's a thread that I haven't seen, but just from this, I mean, yeah, this is not the greatest look.
Would you
Um,
say this is like
if it's just
upholding
from
white supremacy's views
just
of Black people?
just from this, so if I remember correctly, the term raccoon was coined by Black people to, what's the word, signal to other Black people that a Black person could not be trusted. Same thing, like
So
with
are you accepting that signal?
am I accepting that signal? I mean,
Yeah, are you
I
going to view the C word not
I
as a slur towards Black people, but as a sort of like bat signal that this might be
I mean,
like a Black person that you can disregard?
uh, not necessarily. Again, I would have to learn the context. And I've actually talked to Ellen, and I've actually talked to Ellen DeGenerate over the past couple days, and I don't really have too much of a problem with them or with
Let me
them.
ask you an honest
They
question. Let me ask you an honest question. If
Yeah.
Endless, would you trust Endless to tell you if a Black person um passed the check, the vibe check?
I mean, so I have to answer that with a bit of nuance, honestly. And this is just how I would go with anyone who is not my partner, my fiance. Essentially, I cannot necessarily take someone else's word on or someone else's opinion. And I told started this last night too. I can't exactly take someone else's word or someone else's opinion on another person. Um, like just from the jump. You know what I mean? Like I have to, in my opinion, I have to go and like actually talk to that person myself and hear them myself, um, for the
Okay.
most part, and interact with them myself and
So,
formulate my own opinion.
so as somebody who really likes Shark's content and still likes his content, I just don't understand how you have such heavy feelings about his tweet and his words, willing to link them with white supremacy, but you have almost nothing to say about Endless here besides I would need more context.
I
Do you
mean,
see
I
how
had,
that would make someone
I
like
mean,
me
I
feel
had
like
all
you're
of
just
the,
biased?
well, I mean, I had all the context with the Shark tweet. It was right there. What Shark was saying was right there. And I told you my gripes with that tweet was that I felt like he was using white supremacist language in that tweet. Like
Okay. And
with
over
this,
here you're okay.
I don't
So
know.
you're just
I mean, did he say
okay
some?
with
Did
calling a
Ellen
Black person the
say?
C word.
I mean, did they say some like low key like Candace Owens type shit? Like, did they say some shit that warranted that label? Like, I mean, if they're doing
What do you
things, if they're saying things that are harmful to the black community,
what
I
is
don't think.
something that someone can say to deserve being called the C word to you? To dismiss
Um,
them as a Black person with their own ideas and beliefs.
um, um,
If I don't align with you,
it's not that
is
simple. It's not as simple as like not aligning. It's when you say things that are like, and I don't even think based off of what Shark said that he is. I wouldn't call him a coon because, um, like I said, I've seen Shark's content. I know what he
and
I
Rhizome
know what
you
he
wouldn't
typically says.
either.
No, Rhizome I wouldn't either. From what I've seen from these guys' content. No, I wouldn't either. Same thing with Ellen. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that either with Ellen.
But
I think
for
based off
here,
of,
knowing
but like
those
I
three
said,
people
I
for
said
here, you just need more
I, s-
info
I
before
need more
you
context,
dog
but
your boy Endless.
I did say that based off of what is shown here, this is not a good look. I said that. I said that if maybe you didn't hear me, but I did say that based off of what is shown here in this tweet, just this, it's not a good look. But clearly, like we can see the line above Endless's head. There's clearly more to the thread. But again, right now,
Yeah, do
from
you want
just
the
this,
rest? Do you want more of the thread?
sure. If you want to give me more of the thread, sure. I can be transparent and honest.
Mm-hmm. I just have to find it. It's fucking back in August 23rd, I think it said.
Chat, what are you talking
Okay.
about? Sorry, I'm talking to my chat too. Uh, just let me know
I feel like
when you dropped it.
I feel like we might need a part two of this talk. Not that I'm like done now, but I feel like there's probably a lot more that I'm gonna have questions about.
I mean, sure. Like I feel like I can defend my positions and everything. So like, I mean, I can't defend people. I can't do that. I'm not going
No, no one's
to.
asking you. I would never ask you to defend people, but
Hey, listen,
I
Sanso
will
thought I was trying to
challenge
defend.
your.
Sanso thought I was trying to defend Endless, and I kept having to explain to him, I'm not here to defend anybody. People can.
Yeah,
Endless is a
I
big boy, he
don't
can
need
defend
you to
himself.
defend Endless, but I will challenge your beliefs and your criticisms
That's
and
fine.
the opinions that you have and see if you're consistent with them. Because it seems,
I
and
mean,
I'm telling you this
I'm seeing your chat.
honestly, I'm telling you this honestly, it does not seem like you are actually like consistent. It seems like you are very biased here
So
and you're very hesitant to maybe have these consistent views when it comes to people that you already like or who align with you in your
I mean,
radical beliefs
I
because we
said
both know you identify as a radical.
yeah. I mean, I said that this ain't a good look. Like this isn't good.
No,
Um,
no, but your idea of what is and isn't a good look, like that could be loaded, right? You can just think this isn't a good look, that he shouldn't have said the quiet parts out loud. Not that you disagree with him. Like you already said that you see the C word as sort of like a signal that like to use it against a black person
I mean,
as a like a
I'm
warning
not
to
gonna lie to you.
others, and I think that that's a
I'm not
pretty like
I'm not gonna lie to
not
you.
a good
There's a
thing.
difference. There's a difference between Shark's initial tweet and then Endless's tweet here. Shark has like he just has his thought of like in his
Yeah,
response
shark.
to that tweet right there. With Endless, I don't fucking know I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't fucking know what's going on here. But again, like I
Okay,
said,
so if I can tell you,
based
so if I
off
can tell you, it
of
looks like
what's
Shark used a stereotype within the black community of like having no fathers or a broken family, right? He used a stereotype that I don't know if it's in good taste or bad taste. I, I feel like I heard his reasoning for it, and it's escaping my mind. I wasn't exactly prepared for this conversation. It's been a while since I reviewed that
no,
content.
it's fine. It's
But I
same here,
can give
honestly.
you that it's a stereotype. I wouldn't automatically link it with white supremacy. That's what is really like shocking to me, considering we know that he's saying it to a black person that's being racist towards a biracial person for having a biracial family. And and then we have Endless here, who is using a slur against black people and using colorist like insults to a black person and removing their blackness period because they are biracial in order to dismiss them and their and whatever they had said prior. You seem to be really comfortable like viewing Shark negatively
But
and
I
not comfortable
Cherry,
viewing Endless
I
negatively.
don't view Shark negatively. I just had a critique of something he said. My opinion of Shark, even though I watched the conversation and I remember the stuff at the end that Endless and those guys were saying about Shark, I don't agree that Shark is anti-black. I don't agree with that. At least I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that Shark is anti-black. I just had a critique of something that he
Mhm.
said, and that's kind of where I just kind of like leave it. Is like I have my
Do you
own
think it's
ideas or
okay?
my own feelings about black people who are um who are anti race mixing. I think that's bad. But I can still empathize. This might sound shitty, but I can empathize with them and understand like where they're kind of coming from with that and how that comes from, a how that comes from wounds that just haven't healed yet, and what have you. I do think it's a problem when, because like I said, I've come from parents that were like, hey, you should be with a black woman. When I first, like, I told Stars this last night, right? My dad, one of the first things one of the first things that he said to my mom when he had a conversation with her when they found out that my relationship with Paige was getting really serious, and they realized, like, oh, this isn't just like some fling. He's not just, fucking around. Like, this is somebody he's serious about. He was like, how do you feel as a black woman about Elijah being with your son being with a white woman? Do you feel like he does not view black women in a good light? Do you feel like, and he was asking those questions. And my mom said, my son never said that black women couldn't do anything for him. My son never closed himself off from black women. He's never espoused these views or these ideas that a black woman could not make him happy. He just happened to end up with a white woman, and that's just how that is. So, like, my parents, like, came around and changed their views and opinions on race mixing. I can tell you, when I was in high school, it was a lot different. But I also think that was probably because of the fact that, like, I was still a kid and they were still responsible for me, and they still felt like they had to defend me as being a child under their roof, and what have you. And now they see me as, like, an adult making my own decisions, having my own household, and shit like that. So, like, I don't like I see people in your chat that are kind of, like, understanding a bit of where I'm coming from here. Like, I don't believe
Don't
that, like,
those are just fucking people in chat, okay?
I'm
You
just
can
saying. I'm just
ignore
saying.
them.
I'm just
The
saying.
one you're having the conversation
Right,
with. They
right.
don't speak for
Listen,
me.
listen. Don't take that personally. I'm just saying, like, there's people that seem to be
Yeah, but
understanding, like,
whoever you're looking at, I don't know that person.
okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, no, person in Twitch, Shark is not anti-race mixing. No. Shark is very much
No,
for
he is
anti
supportive
for
of it,
yeah,
and
very
he
very
was
supportive of
sticking
it.
up for it against a black person who was anti-race mixing.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I just think there could have been a better way that he could have went about it. Like, even if he had just memed hardcore, I just felt like, honestly, I feel like there was how do I say it? I feel like that triggered something, that those tweets triggered something in him from maybe his past or something. But you know what? I'm not gonna read too much into that. I still, the only thing that I know about Shark, I played Mario Kart with the dude once on Alec Gunter's stream.
Here's my thing.
In my opinion,
Okay,
he's a cool guy.
I don't want to do this circle jerk. I would just like to keep the conversation productive
No,
and not so
I think
much
this is productive. Like,
making
I'm
sure
not circle
that you
jerking.
don't hurt anyone's feeling.
No, I'm not worried about
'Cause
that. Like,
I
I
think
think this is
it's
a fine
worth
conversation.
I think it's worth exploring, like, why you want to refer to his language as, like, um white supremacist language, and not just like racist, like, stereotypes or something, like,
I
right,
mean,
there's a difference between just racism.
racist stereotypes attribute to white supremacy. Like, I mean, if you want me to use that word instead, sure. I'll use that word.
Because
That
it
it's
seems like
racial
it
stereotyping.
seems like it would upset a lot of people to believe that they are not supporting white supremacy when they are actively trying to support race mixing and stick up for biracial and minority people who are in interracial relationships, and then you tell them, hey, you're supporting white supremacy. Like, it seems, does that not
No,
seem
no,
ass backwards to you?
not that he's supporting white
His
supremacy.
language,
That his
you know what
language
I'm saying.
it was white supremacist in nature. So, like, the thing that
But that's the
I
problem.
and this
I don't
is
know
wait,
how it's
hold on,
white supremacist in
hold on.
nature.
So, like, the thing is that there is intent versus impact or perception, right? So, like, we might intend for our words to be good, but then in actuality, when we see our words up against other people, when we see the way in which the public has taken the things that we have said, right? We might see that the impact we had varies much differently from our intent. You know, like, think of it like, what's a good analogy for this? Like, okay, have you
Wish we
seen?
could just talk about the actual issue because I feel like you're
Well,
just lecturing at me,
no,
and
no, I'm not.
I really
I'm just trying to
understand
get
most
you
of these issues. I would just like to hash out the actual
right.
people
I think we're
and these topics.
right, and I think we are. It's just I admit that I am a bit like long-winded. I'm a speaker type. Okay, I admit.
You
Sometimes I
are just
say
coming off as like lecturing me, and
I
it's
apologize.
really
I'm not trying to come off as someone who is who is lecturing you. I apologize if you think that that is what I'm how if you think that that's how I'm coming off. I'm sorry. Again, see there it is. Intent versus perception. I did not think I was coming off as lecturing. Apparently I was. So I'll stop. I'm not even gonna go ahead with the analogy. Um so again, we just need to make sure that when like we're critiquing people, um okay, let me ask you this. So like if I want to critique a trans person, right? Would I use the T slur when I'm critiquing that trans person? I wouldn't,
uh
right? I wouldn't
no,
use
that's a slur.
right, exactly. So like when I'm and like yeah, you could say that about Endless too when he was talking to Ellen and that he used a slur, what have you. If you view, you know, the C word as a slur,
If
apparently it is.
do you not view it as a slur?
I, I don't know. I really don't know the
I don't
entire history of
understand
it.
how you have
Um,
so much to lecture, but anytime I'm asking you a question that isn't something you specifically want to talk about, you don't have an answer. You need more context. You have a lot to think about. You
I
tend to
mean, I
have
said it
this
was
like
bad.
balance of being very opinionated, very knowledgeable, and at the
I mean,
same
I said it.
time unable to like answer anything I have to ask you
No, no,
directly.
I said it. I said that what he said was bad,
No,
like just based off of.
is the C word a slur to you?
Um, you know what? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say it's not a slur.
I
Or
could
it
already
depends on
pick up
how.
that it was a no, and you were just very hesitant to like,
It
or you
depends on
really didn't
how.
want to answer
Well, I
that.
was trying to get to. I was trying to hopefully get us to an understanding really is what
I
I was
don't
going
need an
for.
understanding. I
So
just want to understand you. We don't
so
need to meet in the
that's an
middle. Don't
under
try to
that
pull me over. I
that's an
just want to understand what
I'm
you
not.
think.
Yeah, yeah. That's reaching an understanding. Understand me like I just okay. Anyway, um
That it's going to be really difficult to understand you if I have to pull your teeth out to get you to answer something for me. Do you
I
do
mean
you get that? Most of the time
yeah,
people who want to
I
be
mean
understood, they answer questions.
yeah, but like with me, I think I'm a deep thinker as well. Like I think very deep and long about things typically. And like I can't exactly. I'm just giving you
And
my
you've only probably thought deep and long about Shark and his tweet,
I
and
mean,
everything else you're gonna need a lot
really.
more time on, right?
Not really. It was just like, oh yeah, like that could be taken as like a white supremacist or like maybe okay, you don't like the fact that I call it that.
No,
Racial
I don't. Because
stereotyping.
can I
That could be
ask
taken
you?
that could be taken as like
Now, can I ask you, is the concept of black fathers being locked up, is that something that you consider in your thoughts of harm that has happened to black families over the decades?
yes.
Yes. So you
Black fathers being locked up
yes.
is like harmful to black community.
And
Yeah,
it
obviously, yeah.
yeah, harmful to black communities
Yes.
and like our homes being referred to as broken because of that. And
Well, but then we look at like data and everything, right? And we actually see that like on average, black fathers are pretty much just as much involved with their children's lives on average, like as white fathers are.
so right
So
there
like I
you have
mean,
to decide, is this an issue that they took the black fathers out of the family and put them in jail and broke up the homes and made it so that um their upbringings were disrupted and caused trauma to those families, or are you going to have the position where actually there was no harm that happened to us and black families were fine? It's really hard to have those two positions at the same time. You understand that, right? But if you
what
want to
wait, but
take a
like
dig at
just
Shark, you're
wait,
gonna
hold on.
have
Hold
the
on.
second opinion.
But like I don't understand how like that how Shark got that like all of these people came from like non or it came from fatherless families just from that tweet. Like that's what I don't get. I don't get how
No,
like
the
I don't get
so
how
here's the problem. That
that
is a
was
stereotype, but you are saying that the only people who talk about that are white supremacists. But you and I both know that this is a big conversation in the black community and among black
it is. I
issues.
just don't
It's a
understand
stereotype not invented by white supremacists.
I just don't. No, it's a stereotype that is used by white supremacists
No,
for the
no,
most part, and like not only is it
you are
used
very
by them,
much picking and
but also
choosing to make this
I'm
stick
not.
as like a white supremacist talking
I'm
point
not.
when it's
I'm
like
not picking
literally
and
the
choosing.
foundation of a lot of the issues that black people have
I
over
mean,
like generations
but like,
saying that
why
they
do you
took
think?
black fathers
But
away
like,
from
why do you
us.
think? But like, why do you think? Okay, but like, who took the black fathers away from their children?
Well, people would argue it's aggressive policing.
Right. And why is there aggressive policing within black communities?
Neighborhoods of high crime.
Why is there? Why are
Poor neighborhoods
why
because there aren't opportunities because people need money.
and
And so
why
they're going to
is
commit crimes to get money
and why is that?
because they were segregation afforded less opportunities, less
Ah,
education.
and who implemented segregation?
Are we playing 6 degrees of fucking black people's problems?
I'm just asking questions.
No, you're
Who
telling me that the sentiment
who
of broken families is a white supremacist talking point. It's
it
just
is.
history. It's unfortunate. It's a tragedy, really. But it's not just white supremacists who talk about it and pinpoint at it. It's an issue that
It's almost
happened.
as if even
It's a
the oppressed class
stereotype
can
that
still
many
work with the
people will
oppressor
pick at black
to
people for.
continue
You are just
oppression.
choosing to take what Shark said and try to give it the weight of
Yo,
like white
listen.
supremacy on top of it.
I've
And I'm
already
trying to explain to you
listen.
why it's
I'm not gonna be honest
wrong.
with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like you're being
Okay.
uncharitable to me here because I already said that,
I think you're
I've
being
said
uncharitable to
multiple times,
Shark.
and I said this in my conversation with Stardust last night, right? Like I disagreed with things on both sides of that conversation when I listened to it. I don't
No,
exactly remember I don't exactly remember everything from like the
you
conversation that they had,
you
but
exactly
I at the
remember
very
Shark's shit.
release
I understand that.
no, I just remember the one. I just remember the one tweet that's in writing that I can look at in front of my face at like any time. A conversation.
Imagine
I don't have
caring
their
about
I don't have a
black people's
script of
issues.
their conversation. I don't have like
Imagine
a script
caring
of their.
about black people's issues and watching that debate, and the only thing you have really cared about and really held on to is that Shark tweet. That's about as deep as your advocacy and your care is here.
I mean,
That's
I
the
can just
level of
I can
effort
just
you're willing to
see.
put into
No, no, no,
this.
no, no, no.
That
But
you will watch that debate, throw
no, no,
it the
no.
fuck out of your head, and hold on to Shark's tweets.
All I said was that I did not like the way
Mhm.
in which Shark like framed that initial
There
tweet.
is one thing
Like
that bothered you here, and it's very
no, no,
clear,
no.
and it's very
The shit
obvious
that
you have a
bothers me,
bias.
the shit that bothers me is also the anti-race mixing thing. But I can understand where that comes from. Do you understand where that comes from?
I do understand where that comes from. I'm
Okay.
able to give
So,
empathy to a lot of situations
but
in
that's
this
my
discussion.
that was my whole
And
thing
so,
was just understanding where
no,
the
your understanding is very heavily on Endless's side and
no, it's
lacks
not.
anywhere else.
It's
Yes,
not.
and
I'm
it's
not
very
here.
apparent, and I understand that that's
I'm
because
not
you do consider yourself a radicalist.
I'm not it, I'm not here to defend endless. Oh my god. I am not here to
No,
defend endless.
I'm not saying that you're
I'm
here to
just
defend Endless. I'm saying you
that's
are
kind
your
of what
bias
you're
is very
saying.
fucking
That's
obvious.
kind of what you're
You're
saying,
saying
bro.
that these issues
But
matter to you, but the only thing that you've put weight on and that you've put certainty on and that you've put your confidence into in your ability to even discuss it is Shark's tweets. You weren't even going to tell
cuz
me
that
if you
was
thought the C word was a slur. You
no,
think
I
it's
don't think
like
it's
a
a slur.
bat signal to know whether or not a black person passes the
Does it
fucking test.
do you want me do you want my opinion on the sea slur? Do you want my full opinion
Yeah,
on it?
please.
So, again, from what I know about it, it was used to signal usually to other slaves that this black person is trying to cozy up to master and will most likely get you in trouble with
And what does it
master.
mean to you today?
And so what it means to me today is that this person is selling out for white supremacy or yeah, is selling out for white supremacy or white people, but usually that just interchangeable. White supremacy.
So
I'm just gonna
today
let
you
it go with
use
that.
it as a
Um,
slur for a black
I
person
don't use it as a slur.
that you think is seeking the favor of white people?
I don't think it's a slur, but yeah,
You don't think
a
it's a
black
slur
person
because you don't.
that's seeking the favor, that's seeking the favor
It is a slur because what you're
of
doing
white
is you're
people.
saying that a black person cannot think for themselves and cannot
No, that's
maybe
not. No, people.
remove
No, you guys
race
always.
from their
No, no.
mind and
Stop, stop,
agenda
stop.
without being
All right,
some sort of
I've been
traitor
charitable this
to their
entire time, but you got
race,
to
right?
stop. You have to stop. That is not. That is not it. And it always boils down to this. Whenever we try to call out that somebody has said something or done something problematic, no offense, but people like you will always go, "Oh, well, you're saying it because he disagrees with you." Yeah, he fucking disagrees with me. He doesn't believe that like this shit is like, like harmful to like the black community or some shit, even though it objectively is. Like,
Okay, so you said you had to be sure what Ellen said to
yeah, please listen.
to
If
cause
you,
him.
I've been waiting for for you to show me the
Yeah.
thread, and you've yet to show me the thread. So please show me the thread.
We've been talking. I'm trying to find where
And
the back and forth is.
I'm looking at
But
your stream
while
right
I'm
now, Cheariy, and I can see
and
you scrolling through Twitter. Like,
yeah,
I
I
saw
haven't
you
been
scrolling through.
scrolling
So
this
where's
whole
where's the
time.
thread?
I'm literally around the time, but
All
I
right,
have to figure out
come on,
which one.
let's go. Where's the thread? Come on.
So I'm gonna ask you while I look for it. You yourself, without even looking at
Just
like
give me the
what
thread.
Endless said,
You've had a long
um,
time. You can just give me the thread.
you
I'm pretty
yourself,
sure you
can you
found it.
just tell me where you draw the line? At what point do you think someone deserves to be called a C word?
When they do Candace Owens shit, yeah, let's go there.
And what is Candace Owens shit to you?
Saying shit like what was it, like, oh, Ahmad Arbery was no angel when he was literally fucking killed for no fucking reason, that type of shit.
Okay.
Like shit like that. Like, do I have to go through, do you not think that Candace Owens does some, I'm gonna say it, does some coon shit? Do you not believe that?
I think she is definitely probably one of the worst people to look for an impartial
And why is
view
that?
on black
And why is that?
experiences. Because I think she's racist.
But you don't think we can use, you don't think we can, you don't think coon is a good label for her though?
I would just refrain from using it.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't like
I can respect
using
that. If you don't
slurs.
like that word, okay. I apologize. I won't use it. I won't use it. I will be charitable. I will not use it. But,
I'm
I will not
having
use it with you. But I mean, I don't give a fuck.
I'm having a hard
Um,
time finding where. Oh, here's MF Endless. So
yeah,
maybe this
yeah.
is it. Not a Endless says not a single person accusing me of being anti-race mixing can demonstrate this outside of implications they get from out of context clips. Even though in the debate he said he wouldn't have a child with a white woman. White fragility is a motherfucker, especially with you men. I know it hurts to hear sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And Ellen says
The shit
literally
with
defended an anti-race mixing post. Just own it. He says he wants to discuss it on stream.
I mean,
Where's the
with endless saying like what was it, that he wouldn't have kids with a white woman. I mean,
like
I
I'm
disagree
looking at
with
their
that.
back and forth. I'm looking at their back and forth from this day, and it seems like Ellen is just saying that he's defended an anti-race mixing post. I'm like literally trying to find where he's said anything racist, and I can't find it.
Where where Ellen said something that was racist.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, okay,
Because
then if that's the case,
Endless's
if that's the case,
Endless's tweet.
then maybe the C word was not the right word to use. If that's the case, I mean, I can't see the thread. I only know from like what you're telling me right now on stream. But yeah, sure. If that's all he said, and he didn't say anything racist, then sure. Not
Okay,
the word coon
would you
was not
say
charitable there. Shouldn't
would
have
you
used
say
it.
would you say white supremacists goal is to put a divide in the black community, to
Yes.
pit black people against each other?
Yes.
So
Has been
when you
one of the
see
things.
so when you see a black man call another black man a slur who hasn't done anything to deserve it, would you say that
Cheariy,
that black
I just said it was
person
bad.
is
I just said it was bad. What do
upholding white
you?
supremacist um
Well, no, because the word
like goals?
no, because again, there's nuance to it. Okay, like there's a difference between like driving a wedge between the black community for shit that like Candace Owens says versus some black person calling another black person a coon. Like literally at the end of the day, It
I mean, not
honestly
just some black person.
doesn't matter.
It's
Like,
Ellen, it's Shark, it's Rhizome, it's me. Do you not see a pattern here? It's not just random black people. It's specifically black people that don't align with what Endless's like radical Afrofuturism uh politics are here.
I mean, hey, um, I have my opinions on like I've already given you my opinion on like Rhizome and other people, and and even Ellen too. Like
No, I understand your opinion. I understand your opinion
I
on Shark,
yeah, like
and I'm
I
trying
think
to
these
see
people are cool
if
people.
the
I don't.
conclusion and I'm trying to see if the conclusion that you feel Shark is falling susceptible to white supremacist language, which I'm challenging, and you're saying no, you're wrong. Like, okay, I'm going to use that same um thought pattern and apply that to Endless and his behavior, and you're saying absolutely not. This isn't white supremacy at all. Do you understand how you apply this to these two black men completely differently? Do you not feel like I'm in
So
the
like
right to see a bias
so like
here?
Coon was
You could say
used.
you're uncomfortable like
Coon was
coming to these
used.
conclusions.
So
Okay,
like
go on.
Coon was used to. I just don't understand how you're making um this judgment that all of a sudden that like Coon aids and abets in white supremacy. So a dude just comes into the
That's the same question that I have for you when making a broken families fatherless
because again,
comment
because again,
aids white supremacy.
where the fuck did that just come from? Why did he? Why is it that that was the gun that he immediately jumped to in that tweet? That's what I want to know.
Okay,
Same thing with
and
Endless and like
and
and calling Ellen a coon. I want to know what made
exactly.
him jump. What made him jump to those conclusions? Like I want to know those
Exactly.
things. Like,
That's what I'm saying. And when we have these
but that's
questions
I
for
don't think
these
that that is what
people,
you're
it
saying though.
seems
You're
like
just saying you're trying
no,
to
I'm saying you're applying it inappropriately. Like you can question Shark, like, yo, why'd you jump right to a stereotype? You don't just say why do you jump to a stereotype? You say you're using white supremacist um rhetoric where
stereotypes can
I'm
enforce
looking
white
at
supremacy.
Endless.
Why are
But
you
listen, hold
nitpicking
on. Would you
this?
let me finish? Would
But
you let me
no,
finish?
no, I don't
Because
think I want to because
I
you're
think
you're
it's
nitpicking
offensive.
now. You're like
No,
literally
it's not
nitpicking.
nitpicking. It's literally I'm
Oh my
comparing.
god.
I'm comparing and I'm asking you to be consistent. I would not look at Endless and be like Endless is upholding white supremacy because of the way he's interacting with these people. I
Wait,
look
isn't
at
that
Endless and I
what you
just
said
see
though?
would you no, I'm showing you if you stop getting combative, you can understand what I'm
The
doing.
only person that
Me
has been
specifically,
combative this entire time has been you, not me. I'm just
I'm
at this
just
point where I'm
really
just getting kind
trying
of
to get you
frustrated
to listen to
because
me and
I've
answer me
listened to you
is what's
quite a bit and
the
I've answered you
problem.
quite a
But I
bit, but you
haven't been
just
able to
not liked
finish
my
a
answers.
fucking thought here.
You finished so
No,
many
I
thoughts,
literally
Cheariy.
was in the middle of talking and you've cut me off. So what I'm saying is when I look at Endless and I see how he's treating me, he's treating Rhizome, he's treating Shark, he's treating Ellen, I look at that guy, I don't think, oh, he's working with the white supremacists, he's upholding white supremacy. I think he's racist. I just think he's racist. Racist colorist. And then I can look at Shark and see that tweet and see the stereotype about fatherless and stuff like that. And I could be like, oof, that's a stereotype. Why is he playing into a stereotype? And that's where I end it. But for you, when you look at Endless, you're like, oh, that's wrong. He shouldn't do that to black people. That's off. You look at Shark and you're like, oh, that's wrong. And then you add white supremacist onto him. Do you see how the
I
two
did
of
not
us
add white supremacists onto him. I said that the things he was saying, I keep repeating this. I keep repeating this. I said, I did not say, and I do not think negatively of Shark because of this interaction. What I do think is that Shark was using a narrative that is very similar to white supremacy in nature or had white supremacist rhetoric within it. I can say that. I can say that. Like that was my opinion. Again,
all right, now
I
let's
do
go to
not
the
think,
actual
and I'm
debate
not, and I'm
between
not, I'm
and
not,
Endless
I'm
and
not
Shark.
sitting here. I'm not slandering
I
Shark.
understand. You don't slander
I'm not.
Shark. You like Shark. You enjoy his content. I'm asking questions for me, okay? I'm not telling you to crucify anybody.
It kind of seems like you
I
are
think
though. It
I think
really
if you're
does.
worried, I think if you're worried about like how Shark takes you, maybe just like never talk about him publicly then. Or you shouldn't have had this conversation if you
What?
knew it was going to be about Shark's tweets.
No, I just said that I just did not understand like why Shark why those were the places that Shark jumped to immediately upon seeing those tweets about Bloodline and shit. Like, was the Bloodline shit cringy? Fuck, absolutely. Like that shit was fucking cringy. But like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of stun locked here. I think honestly, I'm kind of done with this conversation. I don't know where to go from here. I mean,
Fine.
I don't think you've really
I
hurt
kind of
me.
assumed that you would
Like,
end it soon.
I don't think you've really hurt me. Like, or what have you.
I think I think you realized fairly maybe a little late into the conversation that um I'm not interested in a lecture. I just wanted to
I
understand
wasn't
you.
trying
I don't
to
need to be
lecture
educated
anybody.
by you. I think it's
That's
pretty
great.
obvious you're biased in this situation, um, and that your radical agenda politically,
All right,
it's
take
just
care. I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm done. I thought that would go better. Than it did. Than it did. I thought we could come to some form of understanding. Honestly, what I think it was was she was just trying to make me look bad. And like, hold on, where's my video capture device? There we go. Shit, I deactivated it. Fuck. Shit, no, it's the wrong one. Where is it? There we go. All right, there we go. So like, I came into that conversation I was trying to be charitable, trying to engage in nuance and shit like that. I even said what she wanted me to say. I'm like, what the fuck do you want at this point? I said what you wanted. What do you want? God damn. Like, and Joe Lewis warned me about her too. Like, he warned me about her and shit. Like, as soon as I came into her chat, because I just came to like see what she was about. Cause like I said, I want to um damn, I'm brain dead right now. I want to gather my own thoughts and opinions. And that's what I thought when I saw her shit. I was like, oh, Cheariyy's live. I've heard some shit about her. Let me go look at her and gather my own thoughts and opinions on her instead of just going by what other people said. Sometimes maybe you should like keep that stuff in your back in the back of your mind. Like, I did hear this shit about this person. Should be on my guard. Or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, um, Joe and other people have warned me about her. And I mean, I think from my end, I think that conversation went well. I'm cool, honestly. I think she was really just trying. It read similar to how my conversation with Sanso went, where she was really just trying to make me look bad. Is what it was. How I feel at least. What was what it was. It's whatever. It is. What? Oh shit! Fuck. Am I? Is this one of Paige's hairs? It is. Okay. Fuck. White women, hair everywhere. I'm kidding. Um, that's all she wanted. The clip. I don't even give a fuck if she clips me out of context and posts it on Twitter. I can defend myself. I don't give a fuck if she wants to post me out of context on Twitter. I mean, but like as soon as I came into her chat, she was like, "Oh yeah, this is the guy that has these radical views and like dipped on the panel that we were gonna be on or whatever. He bailed and like dipped or what have you." And I'm like, "Yo, I had practice and I forgot that I had it. Like I forgot that like I no, I knew that I had practice, but for some reason it took a whole week for me to contemplate. Shit, I can't be in two places at once, and these two things are happening on the same day. So, and that's why I dipped. I didn't even want to dip. I wanted to be a part of that conversation, but you radical extremists with shocking views. Yeah, exactly. Like I really don't understand what was going on there. I said that like some of the shit that Endless was saying I didn't necessarily agree with, and I said that some of the shit that Strike was saying I didn't agree with. Like I don't understand. I think what she wanted me to do, and you know, it was similar to what Stardust was doing last night. Was that like these people just want to paint Endless just it as like this horrible piece of shit person is what they want to do. Like when Stardust called me after our talk and was like, "Yo, look at all these tweets from Endless," and I'm like, I can barely even see what he's saying here, but yeah, that is a lot of tweets. I don't know what you want me what you want me to tell you. He hates you. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't hate any of these people, if I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not true. I hate Erudite. That's the only one. But like I don't even hate Cheariy. I don't hate I don't hate these people. I just know when a conversation is just when it's just done and when it's run its course, and that's why I left. That's why I left. But I didn't even plan on streaming this morning. She had just she saw me in her chat and was like she saw me in her chat and was like yo, you're the guy that like bailed on the panel and like tried to make me look bad and shit. And I was like, is she digging at me? Like, I was like, you want to talk about that now? I had practice, but if you want to talk, we can talk. Like, and so I did. Oh well. Does Cheariy know what a slur is? I really want to know. Yeah, that's the problem with talking to people like that when they don't know like the bare basics of shit. It happens all the time. It is what it is. A slur is anything mean that's said to her. Yeah, whatever. I don't think I've ever been called a coon though. I don't think I've ever been called that. I don't think I've ever been called that. And she also was not letting me really say what I needed to say in a lot of that. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think, you know what? I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I think the conversation didn't go how she wanted it to go, so she tried to make it go the way she wanted it to go. Like, she realized that I was like actually kind of level-headed and that I wasn't like this person that's just like, you know, a racist piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, she realized that like, oh, like this is not going to be as combative as I expected it to be. Like, and I was kind of just going on with it. Like, I was even being charitable. I was like, you know what? Okay, you don't want me to use that word? I won't use that word. Fine. Like, I understand. People don't want me to use words. Don't want to use certain words. I don't use those certain words. Yeah, no skin off my back. Like, I'm cool with it. You know? Like, shit. I do think, and I probably should have said this, when people were, I did have a problem with people questioning Shark's blackness, though. Apparently that happened. And if that did happen, I do have a problem with that. I just think it's weird when black people do that, when black people question the blackness of other black people. Maybe I should have said that about Ellen too, but like I was just really like, I just couldn't get over the fact that like with Shark's tweet, everything is there. With this, not everything is there. There's stuff missing, I feel like you can clearly tell that there's stuff missing. And I'm sorry, but just the way I am, I have to be that way. I have to go back and I have to scroll through, because when you don't scroll through and you just insert yourself into a conversation, and that's why I specifically went on Shark's tweet and I said, I don't hate Shark, I don't dislike Shark. We can give critiques of people that we like. We can give critiques of people that we like. That is fine. That is completely fine. Like, Shark himself says he doesn't identify with his blackness. And you're gonna have people that are like that, though. You're gonna have people that are like that don't identify with their blackness. Like, I want to know what he means by that, really. That's what I want to know. I don't know what you mean by doesn't identify with your blackness. Like, I would like to, if he would like to talk to me about that, I'd be down to like pick his brain about that. But I don't think he'd want to talk to me about that. Shark likes his distance from people. So, I mean, whatever. Hello, Chad and Eli. How's it going? Hi, Wolf. How's it going? It's going great. It's going great. I'm saying this to Aiko. I'm saying this to Aiko so she can watch it. I'm going to send it to her. She's going to go, oh my God. What the fuck? I can hear Aiko now. What the fuck? Desperado. Howdy, Desperado. How are you? How are you? I didn't expect chat to pop off like this. I didn't expect this many people to come in. I expected no more than like 3 people in chat. I didn't expect this many people to pop up in chat. It's not part of his brand. Again, that seems kind of vague to me. What does he mean by that? Maybe I'm just being stupid, but again, context. I want context with that. Like, what do you mean? eating chicken burger. I haven't eaten this morning yet. I just kind of hopped on to the stream with Cheariy. Um, cinnamon rolls, Eli. Fuck you. Is Twitch gonna ban me for putting up the middle finger? No, Twitch isn't gonna ban me because I don't have boobs. Twitch isn't gonna ban me because I don't have boobs. Twitch only bans people. Twitch and TikTok only ban people with boobs. That's it. They're boob phobic. They're boob phobic. I'm doing great, Wolf. I just had a conversation with Cheariy. It was good. From my perspective and from my end, I feel like it was good. It was a good conversation. I got out what I needed to get out. I feel like Endless is gonna watch this shit and have a field day. He's gonna watch this on his stream and have a field day. But back to the important question: is she black or what? Cheariy, I believe, is biracial. I don't think we need to read into that. Like Gwen, like. Yeah, I've heard some things about her, but like I wanted to go see for myself, and I saw for myself. But yeah, I really do think that like this didn't go the way she expected it to go, and like with Stardust and it didn't go the way either of us thought it was gonna go either. But like we were cool at the end of it. I was like, oh, I thought we were gonna disagree on like whether or not Libs of TikTok should be deplatformed or some shit, and she didn't even try to make like a huge spectacle of it. She just wanted to talk to me, and it was a chill conversation. Like it was a chill conversation. So that was it. I kind of left it at that. I don't like that she's just a liberal, but like, you know, hill to die on, I guess.